Penguin Random House Audio presents The Energy Clock. 3 simple steps to create a life full of energy and live your best every day. By Molly Fletcher. Read for you by Kirsten Potter. Note to listeners, this program includes a downloadable PDF that contains diagrams, tables, and the energy clock exercise from the book. Introduction. I remember one day in my late 20s, still early into my career as a sports agent, I was at lunch with my parents. They had flown down from Michigan to visit me in Atlanta and were only in town for a few days. Just hours after they landed, we went straight to a cool spot for lunch. We sat down, excited to connect, and no one was more excited than me. However, during lunch, my phone rang constantly with clients calling, baseball players on their way to the field, golfers leaving a practice round, coaches assessing their next game, and I took every call without hesitation. To say I wasn't really present was a huge understatement. As I chatted with clients, the 2 people who are the most important people in the world to me ate a lunch they could have enjoyed a whole lot more back at home in Michigan. They sure didn't need to travel 775 miles to watch me on the phone. Finally, my mom looked at me after a few calls and said, "What do they want?" And I turned the fire hose right on her. "One of my golfers needs new logoed apparel sent to the tournament this week. One of my baseball players thinks he's getting traded. My boss wants an update on one of my baseball prospects. My coach's wife is calling me about a new head coaching job that opened up. One of my agents needs me in a meeting this afternoon regarding a pending deal. My broadcaster wants to add more games to her schedule." As I rattled them off, I could also see a more important message in my mom's eyes. "You just don't get it, Molly." It was a moment that I will never forget. A moment I realized I wasn't being present with who mattered most. I had been afraid not to answer the calls, but as soon as I ended the last one, the truth hit. If I hadn't taken those calls right at that moment, what would have happened? Would those clients have fired me? No way. I had filled their cups or overflowed them plenty. I was acting just like one of those people quick to wear business as a badge of honor, but in that moment my parents took me back down to earth. They didn't care about the high-profile athletes and coaches blowing up my phone. They just wanted to know if I was taking care of myself, getting my rest, and enjoying my work and friends. This part of their love for me usually gave me such energy, but this time I had blocked all that good juju by answering my phone when I could have been present with them. I got up from that lunch more exhausted than when I sat down. Exhausted and conflicted, really. I felt bad they had flown all that way to listen to me talk on the phone for the first few hours of their visit. I wished I had put my phone in my purse for 45 minutes and then fully engaged with my clients after lunch. It wasn't guilt. It was failure to behave in a way that was consistent with my values. Giving 50% never feels good, and people can tell when we are only half present. If we're lucky, we have people in our lives who help us set our energy clocks, who remind us what's truly important. My parents did that, and still do at times for me, and every day I am mindful of doing the same for my 3 daughters. But eventually, we have to set the energy clock for ourselves, and it is rooted in clarity around who and what matters most to us, and putting our energy toward those things. Part 1. Auditing your energy. Our time on this earth is limited, but what we do with our time and how we show up for moments in time is up to us. We can make our greatest impact not just by showing up, but by showing up prepared and ready to engage. But that can only happen if we have enough energy for those moments. The energy clock will help us be more intentional about who, what, and where we choose to invest our energy. We don't get to dictate the time we have on Earth, but we can take charge of our energy. We share our energy with our teams, our families, our employees, and our friends. The trick comes when we realize we need to give it exclusively to the things and the people that deserve it, that deserve you. In order to live intentionally, we need to be protective of our energy and constantly ensure who and what we give our energy to align with what matters most. When we do that, we make our greatest contributions to our colleagues, teams, family, and communities, and we find meaning for ourselves. Have you ever noticed how most of us are obsessed with managing our time, with little thought to where we invest our energy? We measure our years by months, our months by weeks, our weeks by days, our days by hours, and the hours by minutes. We fill our schedules to the max, and we measure our productivity by our level of activity. This quickly becomes unsustainable. If unchecked, it's downright destructive. If we don't bring energy to our time, does the time spent really matter anyway? And if we misdirect our energy toward the wrong priorities, isn't it inevitable that we risk chasing the wrong things? Here's the hard truth. If we don't decide what is most important to us, the world will decide for us. Most of us live by the clock. We look at our watches, our phones, and our clocks all day, every day. Where do we need to be and when? How much time is this going to take? How can I move faster, get faster, live faster? Google Maps tells us how long it will take for us to get to where we're going and how we can save 2 precious minutes by selecting the fastest route available. Most of us wake up to alarms and live our lives by notifications. We can't remember if Siri and Alexa are just apps or a legitimate part of our families. Clocks remind us where we need to be next, not where we are right now. They're a constant reminder that our time, which we've put on a pedestal, is slipping away, or, worse yet, being wasted. Our clocks beep, chirp, sing, and quack. They make us feel more panicked and rushed than present. It seems like we are always making the choice between not enough time and why am I wasting my time? But we trudge on because time is ticking and we have a schedule to keep. It is so bad that we even build in our breaks. Oh, perfect. I have enough time for 5 minutes for mindfulness and a bathroom break between these 2 meetings. Just what I need. Instead of shoving our needs between tasks, we need to think about what we actually need in order to feel fulfillment and accomplish work that is meaningful. The energy clock is not about managing our time. It is about reimagining our time. It's a challenge to reframe the passage of time as an investment of energy into what matters most at work and at home. It challenges us to assess who and what deserves our energy and why. Imagine checking your energy clock to ensure you are connected and present, rather than merely on time. Wouldn't that make all the difference? Imagine protecting your time by filling it with what matters most. When we envision our energy clock, we ensure we are aligning what is meaningful to us with our energy outputs, and in doing so, we likely avoid waking up one day and realizing we are way off course. It's like a flight from New York to Los Angeles. We make slight adjustments on the way due to wind and weather to arrive at our destination. Slight pivots keep us on course. Life can be like that, too. The path isn't always linear. Priorities change. Pivots need to be made. Learning to take ownership of our energy is the most important shift we can make on our journey to help us pivot onto our best path. No matter who you are, protecting your energy allows you to make your greatest contribution to yourself and others. When you live your life fast by the ticking clock, you fall into the trap of reacting to crises and living by the expectations of others. Recalibrating your energy clock teaches you to live deliberately, with intention. Can we lead if we are exhausted? Can we get the results we want if we are distracted and unfocused? Can we do meaningful work if our tanks are empty? Can we inspire others if we aren't inspired ourselves? I hate to break it to you, but no. Nothing will ever truly move forward if you are not investing meaning into how you spend your time. The purpose of the energy clock is to shift how you currently view your time to focus instead on where you invest your energy. This will, in turn, create more energy for you throughout your day. In other words, it's about going to the end of our lives and careers and ensuring we can look back and know we put our energy into what...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?